When it comes to the LGBTQI plus community, why do you think we as a community are prone to more mental illness and epidemics? One, is that true, Doc? Is that it?
Yeah, it is true, and there are a lot of reasons for that. You know, the first one that is probably the obvious one, queer people were more likely to be ostracized by families, right? So you have a mother, a father, sisters, brothers who aren't speaking to you, so you lose that support, right? Queer people are less likely to have health insurance. They're more likely to experience poverty. You know, and then especially older queer people, much less likely to have kids, less likely to be married. Very young queer people, much more likely to die by suicide, to have suicidal thoughts, again, to be estranged.
There's a lot of shame.
So, you know, there's so much shame and there's so much, you know, like, I just don't fit in, you know what I mean? And we have to understand that acceptance and social networks, they're not just good for our psychological health, they're good for our biological health.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So we know that people who have strong social networks, they live longer. Part of the reason for that is when you have these social networks, you have less your levels of stress hormones like cortisol go down. And then your levels of oxytocin, that bonding chemical, go up. And that actually, you know, at the end of your chromosomes, there are these things that look like the end of your tennis shoes, like those plastic caps called telomeres. And they shorten as we age. And when they shorten, well, you don't want them to shorten and get tiny because then all of a sudden, you know, that damages your DNA. So these social connections are actually much better for us, and it's because of these hormones and these beneficial compounds that are just circulating that are natural in our body. So I think there are a lot of reasons.
Man, that's super interesting. I mean, I never thought about it in that depth. Now, in your practice and even in, you know, your life, what is the advice that you would give someone that, when you hear that these are the facts, like, how does one cope with that, especially like if it is someone who's, you know, queer plus that doesn't want to have that experience?
There are resources everywhere. So that's the great thing, you know, so you can go online, you go to like the Trevor Project, you can find nonprofits. There's always community mental health centers that are willing to see people without insurance. Here in LA, the LA Gay and Lesbian Center, right? The Trevor Project now has free, you can talk to somebody, you can chat with somebody, you can text if you're in a crisis. So go out there, find those resources, and find the people, you know, in our queer community, we say a lot that we have a chosen family, right? So we have a lot of people who like, oh,
find your people.
Oh, my dad doesn't talk to me when I came out, right? It's like, and that's just, he's never gonna talk to me again. So you have to find your own family. There are people who are gonna love you no matter what, so go out there and find your tribe because it's good for your heart, it's good for your body.